Very good morning to all of you all, and I welcome you back for today's second part of the session on the second day of the Faculty Development Program on Advanced Research Methodology using R, MICMAC and MCDM techniques. It is often said that 80% of your data analysis is spent on the cleaning and preparing of the data. And it's not just a first step, but it must also be repeated many times over the course of analysis as the new problems come to light or some new data is collected. To handle this particular problem, data cleaning, or what we call it as data tidying, is very important and essential. So it is important to structure your data sets to facilitate the analysis, and that exactly is the prime important aspect of your tidying of data, or what we say is data cleaning. The principles of tidy data provide a standard way to organize your data values within a data set. And in today's session, we are going to learn about what are the types in which we can clean the data and the functions that are available. It's often said tidy data sets are all alike, but every messy data set is messy in its own way, as has been correctly pointed out by Hadley Wickham. So that is, if something which is structured would remain same throughout, but one which is unstructured or not properly put into place, so it remains or it changes from person to person as to how messiness can be created. So in this case, it is very important to keep all the data sets alike and in a proper cleaned manner, which is easy for us to go ahead for data analysis. And that is where a reshaping of your data structure is required. And for this particular thing, under the Tidyverse package, you have a package called as tidyr. So this package is extensively used for creating tidy data. So this package was built by Hadley Wickham with the sole purpose of simplifying the process of creating a tidy data. Right? So tidyr is a package. It has 4 fundamental packages apart from the others. So in our particular session, we are going to focus on these 4 types of functions in tidyr package. The first function is called as gather. The function that we use gather for is one which is having a wide spread of a data set. So instead of having a wide spread, we narrow down and try to increase the length of that particular data set. So that is what a gather does. Spread makes a long data into a wider picture. So that is what is a function of gather. So rather these two are complementary to each other. So one will widen the data, the other will elongate the data. The next 2 complementary functions are separate and unite. The separate function will split a single column into multiple columns, and unite will combine the multiple columns into a single column. So these are the 4 things that we are going to study today. Now what are the rules to make a tidy data? So there are 3 interrelated rules for a tidy data that we have. So those are, now if you can look at the diagram which is given over here. Any data set is a collection of values. So that means all the values, which is a combination or the intersection of your variables and observations. So that particular thing is called as values. Right? So usually they are either numbers if it is quantitative in nature, or strings if they are qualitative in nature. The values can be organized in 2 ways. Right? Because every value belongs to a variable and also to an observation. So a value belongs to both of them. So in that way, values can also be organized in 2 ways. A variable contains all values that measure the same underlying attribute. For example, height. So that is more into a vertical structure. So height is a column. So the entire data set values which you have refers to a single attribute, that is your height. And then observation contains all values which are measured on the same unit. So that is, it is responded wise that we collect the data. So in this case, it measured different values across a same unit. So which might be either from a person, or it might be a day's data, or across some other data. So row wise collection that you see are called as observations. The column wise which you see are called as variables, and at intersection of each variable and observation, what we get is a value. So a tidyr is a standard way of mapping the meaning of a data set to its structure. So a data set is messy or tidy depending on how the rows and the columns and the tables are matched to the observations. So that is the interrelationship between the variables, observations and the corresponding values tell us whether your data set is tidy or whether your data set is messy. So if you have a tidy data, in that case each variable must have its own column, right? So every variable, distinct variable, should have its own column. Each observation must have its own row, and each value must have its own cell. So if these three conditions are getting fulfilled, we can say that your data set is tidy. Messy data is any other arrangement of the data other than these three options. So we can say that you need to then clean up your data or arrange your data so that these three conditions suffice, right? So we'll just have a quick review of the functions over here before we get back to our R console. Gather function, the objective is reshaping a wide format to a long format. So there are times when our data is considered as unstacked, and a common attribute of concern is spread across columns. Now for example, if I say I have collected the share prices on the weekly closing indexes, so that means I have a weekly data of around 42 weeks or 48 weeks. Now all of them have a common attribute, that is the weekly closing price, but that has led to creation of 48 new columns which has a week in it. So 48 weeks, so week 1, week 2 up to week 48. So we have added 48 new variables, whereas their attribute on total is the same, that is the weekly closing prices. So this is where we make use of a gather function so that these common attributes are gathered together into a single variable, right? So that is what we do in a gather function, right? So similarly, if you see over here, so you have work T1, home T1, work T2, home T2. So instead of having 4 different columns, now that has been gathered and sent into key value, that is work, the factors that we have taken or the variables that we have taken, and time has its corresponding value. So in this case, your 4 variables have been shortened up into only 2 columns. So this is what is a function that gather does. Arguments, of course, will come down to in a more thing when we are working on the R software. So at present, we basically have to enter 3 values when we are doing a gather function. One is your data frame, that is the data on which you want to apply this function. Key is the column name which is representing your new variable. So now whatever is the common attribute amongst all these columns, so that becomes your key. So like in the previous example, as I said, week 1 to week 46. So in this case, week is a key column name. Value is the column name representing the variable values. So that is the week 1, whatever values you have, week 2 values which you have. So that needs to be assigned into another column. So that is what you called as value. And next that you have is na.rn. So as we all know, it is an option to remove the observations which have missing values. So this should be set to true. Convert is another argument that we have. So if it is true, it will automatically convert the values to logical integer numeric. So it is by default a conversion which happens. The next that you have is a separate function. So separate is basically splitting a single variable into 2. So many times a single column variable will capture multiple variables. For example, if I say I have an example called as male under 15 years of age, male between 15 to 35 years of age. So this is a different columns that I have created, and I just want to have the count of the cases given here. So now in the same column there are two variables. One is the gender, the other is the age. So in this case, when the same column has more than one variable, in that case we can use a separate function to separate out gender as a separate variable and age as a separate variable. So this can be accomplished using the separate function, right? So again over here it includes the data frame from where you want to collect that data. Column is the column name representing the current variable. So in this case, if there are multiple values, so we will have a selection from the first till the variables which needs to be selected. Next is separate, how to separate the current variable. So is it by a character or a number? So that is like we know now gender is a character and separated by age, which is a number, right? And remove, if true, it removes the input column from the output data frame. So if remove is set to true, so that means you lose out the old data and you only have the new data, separated data which gets created. Unite functions, it is merging the two variables into one. So there may be a time in which we would like to combine the values of two variables together. So unite function is a convenience function and it is similar to the paste of multiple variable values into one, right? Again over here the function is your data frame, the columns that you want to merge and what should be the names of the columns to merge, and a separator to be used between the merged values. The next that we come down to is a spread function. So this is basically complementary to your gather function. It reshapes a long format into a wide format. So there are times when we are required to turn long formatted data into wide formatted data. So where we have spread a key value pair across multiple columns. So like if we have some opening prices and closing prices, right? So you have opening prices and you have closing prices. So every data which gets repeated twice in a row. So one giving the share prices of opening, one giving the share prices of closing. So if we have 500 data sets, so that makes it 1000 rows. So in this case, we would like to reshape the long format to wide format, where you change this particular rows into one column having the opening prices and one column having a close prices. So this is what you can do using the spread function, right? So this is a syntax, and of course it remains the same as to what you do in gather only, right? So now we move down to the R console and start working on the data cleaning process, right? So we have come down to the R Studio. The first step, as we all know, is to set your working directory to the place where you have saved this particular file. So let us first see what is the working directory at present, right? So it is again by default into users HP document. So now we want to set this working directory. So go to session, set working directory, choose the directory, and into the location where we have saved that particular files. And then open, right? So if you see immediately in your files folder, you can see all these particular files that you have set. So now if you want to check whether your working directory has been set, so just press get working directory and enter, right? So your new working directory has been set. Now let us start off with the Billboard CSV, right? So let us import this data. I have clicked on the data set and it shows me two options, view file and import data set. I'll click on import data set. So it is retrieving a preview of the data, right? So now this has been retrieved. Now we say import. Fine. So let us first look into this particular data set. Right. So you have the name of the artist, the track, the time, the honor in which they are doing the singing, the date when they entered, the date when they reached the peak of the ranking charts, and now they have been given the ranks first week onwards till 70, sorry, right from the first week till the last week. The last week is basically your 43rd week, right? So in this case they have given you the ranking which that particular track stood for in that given week, right? So if they were in the top 100, so you can see the ranking over here, and if they were not in the top 100 during that period of time, it is showing as NA, right? So now this, because we have put in a weekly column data from the first week to the 43rd week, we have added an extra 43 variables over here, right? So in this case your data is too wide in a format. So in this case what we can do is we can use a gather function that reorganizes these data into just two different columns. That is, one is the week and the other that you have is the value, that is whatever was their ranking during that particular period of time, right? And the other one, as we have already come across, where we are making use of Tibble, right? So as we all know that when you have large data sets, so that is around 317 observations spread across 83 variables, so it is very difficult to be displayed here in your console area. So in that case we make use of the Tibble. Now before we just start off, we have to remember to work first, call your working directory, and the second thing which you have to remember is to include the packages which you are going to work on. Now for this data cleaning session we have to make use of tidyr. So in this case we are going to call from library tidyr package. Okay, so let's, showing not seen, so let's search over here. It shows here tidyr package. I think I wrote, okay, my library spelling was wrong over here, so library library and tidyr. Okay, so now this package is attached for my further processing. And now for learning your gather function, we are going to make use of this Billboard database, right? Now as we have already seen, we have around 83 variables, so it has become very messy to have such weekly variables and one column each for each week. So we can see how we can use the gather data in order to compress this particular variable. So before we start off, as it is too big a data, so we will pass Billboard to as underscore Tibble. So that means it gets converted as a Tibble, right? So now in this case, if you want, you can print and see, right? So now this has been converted into a Tibble. So you have year, artist, track, time, date entered, date peak, and from first week to the 76th week, right? So you have till 76th week data over here. Right, so this has been concatenated over here. Now next that we move down is how do we make use of a gather function. So now when you're making use of a gather function, now we had seen something called as pipe operator, right? So we are going to make use of pipe operator for working on this tidyr condition. So the first thing which you have to do is call the data set. The second thing that you have to do is apply a gather function. And the third thing that you want to do is you want the data to be arranged according to the artists, right? So that means all the artist data and their weekly data would come together at one single place, right? So in this case, we want to do three operations together. First is calling of a data set, second is performing of your gather function, and the third is arranging your entire data set by the artist, right? So let us start as to how we do it. So I'll just pull across this. Right, so first we have to call the data set. So our data set is billboard, right? So then you use the pipe operator. Next we have to use is the gather function, right? So under this gather function, the first that you have to give is the week data that you want to extract. So that means what are the set of data which you want to compress together. So we want to compress all the week data from the first week to the 76th week, right? So the next is your key. Key means you want to put them under which particular heading. Now all of these are related to the weekly data or the weekly ranking. So in this case my key will be week. Next, where will this rankings be given? So that means I will create value which is equal to the rank, right? And the next, that is very important, na.rm, because we have lot of na values in this data set. So that is if they did not feature in the top 100 during that particular week. So we had seen that there were a lot of na values present over there. So in that case, it is important to make your na.rm equal to true. So in the gather function, what we have done, we have first selected the group of items which we want to group them together. Second, what is that grouping variable? So for us that is called as a key, and that grouping variable over here is week. And the third one is the value. So what is that particular value or the new value? So these values are basically the ranks in that given week. So in this case your value will be equal to rank, and then na.rm is equal to true. Next, third, what we have to do is we have to arrange the data as according to the artists, right? So because we want all the artist data to come together, so in that case we will use the function as arrange, right? So we have now passed this comment, artist inverted, okay, I think Control C, Control V. Let's see where we made a mistake. Right, so I think over here now if you see there is an error in arrange, artist.inverted could not find the function arrange. Now if you remember, where do we have used this arrange? It is basically a data manipulation tool. So now if I am using a data manipulation tool, I need to call that particular package. So over here I have then called the package library dplyr. So we have used the dplyr package for doing the data manipulation. So over here you have to first call the dplyr. So most of the time when you find this error as could not find the function, it basically means that you have not called for the specific package over here in your console area. So a could not find function, it basically means that a package has to be selected in order to run that particular command. So here we know that arrange is a part of your data manipulation. So I have called this library dplyr package, and now I again copy paste that entire data line and then I click enter. Right, so we should have errors so that we know that we are learning. So if anybody can think of what is an error over here after we have done the data manipulation. So over here I have put arrange artist in inverted commas, whereas it is only the name of that particular column which should come over here. So I am copy pasting it here and then removing the inverted commas and then click enter. Right? So now this has worked. So what are the two mistakes that we did over here? The first mistake is we did not call for the dplyr package and we were using a data manipulation tool. So whenever you find any kind of an error which says function could not be found, so that means you have to switch on or should call the relevant package from the session. And the second thing that we learned was like arrange value. If your syntax is not given properly, so you also shows an array. So in this it shows an error. So in this case arrange, and it should be by which particular column, since we had seen it earlier also. So arrange the name of the data set followed by the arrangement as to in ascending or in descending order. So in this case over here, since we have already called the data set before, so we are not calling the data set over here. So I'm just writing that arrange the data by artist inverted. So now if you look at this data, you can find two pack which was there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So that means it appeared in for 7 weeks where it had a ranking which was less than 100. So now here we can see for the 6 weeks, so it has now become first, second, third, fourth, fifth and 6th. So it was there continuously for the 6th and up to 7th rank, and then it did not have any of the ranking, right? So in this case the 2-pack artist was there and his ranking was there for 7 weeks, and this was the corresponding rank. So instead of now having 83 variables, now if I suppose show this as to how the number of variables or columns are decreased. So let me assign this entire function to billboard 1, right? So what function that we have run, so I copy this entire function over here and I assign it to the data frame billboard 1 and click enter. Now you see over here, from 83 variables we have used gathered function to bring it down to only 9 variables. So that is what a gather function can do, and that is what is the kind of messiness that you can remove from your given files, right? So I hope this gather function is clear to you. The next that we move on into is basically let us think of the gather and then we go for separate. So in this case let us first make use of the tb CSV file over here, right? So let me import this file. So I click on this file and say import dataset. It is retrieving the data and then we can click on import. Right, so first let us look into the data set as to how it looks like, right? So this is basically the country-wise cases of tuberculosis with respect to gender and their age. So we over here, if you can see, M.014 1524 to 5564, M65, similarly female, and these are the so many number of values columns which has been created. So almost you have 16 variables over here. So now if we look at this naming that has been done, so we can clearly identify that male stands for 14 and M stands for male and F stands for female, and we can correctly try to find out that this 15 to 24 is basically the age group that they fall into. So that means the males who fall in the age group of 15 to 24, and how many cases of TB has been detected with respect to the country, right? So this is what we have this particular data. So in this case we will first try to gather the data together, and then we will use a separate function to separate out gender and separate out age. So that means first we will try to bring all of the values under one function. So that is, you have the variable or the category and you have the number of cases. Now this category that you have created, we will again now separate it out as according to the gender and as according to the age. right? So let us see now how we can go about to do that thing. First, let us create use TB database as tibble, right, because it's a huge data set that we have. Done. Next step is we create a gather. So in this case, let us create TB gather, which is equal to the data set. The same thing what we did just now. Then we use a pipe operator. Then we use a gather function. So gather function is, we are going to gather is M014 to F65. So M dot 014 to F dot 65. F dot 65, right? Now we have to put them into a key or a column where it will come to. So let me say category. Key is equal to, key is equal to category. The next is value. So over here value are the total number of cases. So we can put them as cases. Then NA dot RM is equal to true, right? And then we want this data to be arranged according to the country. So that means all the country related data should come together at one place. So we want to arrange it by country, right? So now if you see, initially your TB had 201 observations with and has 16 variables, right? So that was in a wide format. Now we have converted it into a long format which has only 4 variables and your number of observations has increased. So now let us look at this particular table as to how this looks like, right? So you have country, year, category and number of cases. So AD country, all the categories have come down together. Then AE, all categories have come down together. So now this has become more easier for us to understand. So in this case, AD doesn't have any of the cases in any age groups other than 25 to 34, which has one case for the year 2000, right? So now we have created this TB gathered data. Now if you look at this category, it has gender and it also has age, right? So now we want to separate this category into age and into gender and age. So in this case we will be using the separate function. So let us again create tb.separate file, okay, data frame. So we will use TB gathered data. So tb.gather is the data frame that we have made, right? And now a pipe operator. Now we will make a separate function, right? So what do we want to separate? So we want to separate category, right? So we want to separate category. So this has to be split into. So what is the category you want to split into? So we say that split it into, the first one is male female, so it is gender, and the second one is your age, right? So which is the column you want to split and what is it that you want to split into? So we want to split the category function, category variable, and we want to split it into gender and age, right? So then click enter. So you have a TB separate which is formed over here. So let us click and see. So now if you look at the data set, so you have country, you have year. Now category has been replaced by gender and age, right? But there is one more thing that can be done over here. Now if it is 0, 14, 15, 24, whereas it should be 0 to 14 and 15 to 24, 25 to 34. So that is how the representation should be. So in this case, you have to use a string function over here. So first let us call library, right? So we go to library, and you have in your package of tidyverse something called as string r. Right, now using the string r, we will put an hyphen between the different age categories over here. So now how do we do it? It's a simple function that you have to like remember something. So tb.separate is the last file that we have created. From that we need to take the age category, right? Because we want to work this hyphen for the age. So tb.separate age, we want to do this function. So the function is string underscore replace all, right? So string underscore replace all, right? So for what do we want to replace? tb dot separate age. So in this, your 0 should be replaced as 0 hyphen, right? So in the cb separate age, wherever you have value of 0, so that should be replaced with 0 and a hyphen, right? So then click enter. So again we will copy this entire sentence over here, right? So after 0, the next hyphen that we need is after 15. So wherever you have 15, replace it with 15 and a dash, right? Again we will pass the function string all. The next is with between 25 to 34. So we pass the function that your 25 should be replaced by 25 minus. Then next that you have again, so you want to replace 35, should be replaced by 35 minus or hyphen. Next again we have 45 should be replaced with 45 minus. So I suppose that is the okay. So we are left with 45 and 55, right? So 45 we are done. Next again copy paste and make this as 55. Next what you have is 65. So since we can make it to be 65 to suppose 90 is generally the life. So in this case we make this to be 90, right? Now let us see what we can see in the table. tb dot separate, right? So now if you see country, year, you also have gender, you also have age now with an hyphen, and you also have the cases, right? So this is what we have with respect to the separate function. The next that we move on to is, so your tb.separate is clear. Now next is, now we want to divide this age into low and high, right? So we want to divide this age group 0 to 14. So 0 should be age low and 14 should be age high, right? So in this case again we are going to use the separate function, but now we will be using it for the age, right? So let us create tb dot separated, right? So the first one we are going to call is tb dot, sorry, spelling, please take care of your spelling mistakes. Most of the time this gives you, so it is better to select here so that you don't make your mistakes in the selection or writing of your variable names. tb dot separate, then separate function. Now over here what do we want to separate is age. So we want to separate age into age low. Age should be separated into age low, comma, in the inverted age high. Just remember that when you're creating these variables, there cannot be any spaces. You can only use A to Z, 0 to 9, underscore and a dot, right? And then click enter. So now let us see what happens to your TB dot separate. So now if you see, you have age low, age high. So now age low has all the lower values, age high has all the higher values, right? So in this case you have again done a separate function over here. Now if suppose we want to go ahead with the other one, which is a spread function, right? So for using the spread function, let us then go back. I think I'll first do with a unite function, which is much easier to be done over here with the same data set, right? So in this case now I want to unite this age values together. So in this case I'll just create TB dot unite, right? So we'll first call the data set, that is TB dot separate, use a pipe operator. So now you would see how much easier it becomes when you have this operators connected together. Unite function. So what is it that we want to unite into? So we'll first write the name of the new variable. So age new, we are forming a new variable. When after uniting, what is it that would be the name of a new variable, and followed by what are the functions which you want to unite. So we want to unite age dot low, and we want to unite it with age dot high, right? So in this unite function, we first write what is the variable of the new name. Second is what are the two variables or the two things that you want to unite it together, and then click enter, right? So now if you want to see your data set, so TB dot unite. So now if you see, you only have one column which is age new, and your dates have your numbers have been joined together by an underscore, so they have been united together. So in this case you can also have different columns united into one, a single column which can be separated into the many, and then you also have a gather function which will decrease the width of your data set and increase the length of your data set. And now we come down to the end of our fourth function, that is your using of the spread function. So this spread function basically is making your long data into a wide data. Now for doing this thing, we are going to make use of this weather.sav data set. So let me call this weather.sav data set. So I can just move down. So weather, and click on import the data set. So now it is retrieving the data set, right? So now I import. So let me first clear the console area. Let us look up into this data set. So right now you have your ID, your year, your month, your day, your element, and your value. Now if you see the element, all the elements are being repeated twice, Tmax, Tmin, Tmax, Tmin. So that means every year data, every day data that you have two elements. So now because of adding two elements, that is, you have almost doubled your number of observations. So what could have been done in 33 observations, that has been made into 66 observations. Why? Because there is a repetition of Tmax and Tmin. So in this case, we can make use of a spread function in order to spread our data of element of T max and T min into two different columns, right? So first of all, let us call weather to be a tibble. The reason why we do it is so that during the display time we don't face any trouble and we can see the data at one particular place, because there are huge data sets with huge number of variables. So as underscore table, right? So we have done with this. Now we are going to move to the spread function, right? So now in this case, weather dot spread, right? So your weather dot spread you are going to create, so you will use the spread function, right? So what are you trying to use the data set for? First one is your weather. The second is key. Key is what is the column that you are going to spread. So we are going to spread the element column. So key is equal to your element, right? Next value is, of course, this is your value column. So your value will be equal to value only, right? So now this is what you get as a spread function. So now let us just see how it looks like. So weather dot spread, right? So now if you see, the element has been spread into T max and T min, right? So you have spread this. So now your number of variables, if you see, initially it was 66, now it has been reduced to 33. So that is the benefit you get by spreading of your data set. But there is one more thing which comes out is like, this is 1, 2, 3 your month, then you have your days, and then the T max and T min. So in that case they are also arranged in a particular sequence, or if required we can like arrange the data by year, month and day. So in that case your order of arrangement is always given to you. So again over here, if you had to use a pipe function, so how would that look like? So a weather dot spread will be equal to, we will first call the data set weather, right? And then we would have applied this spread function. Now over here, when you are using the spread function, since we have already called the data, we will not name the data again. So it would stay as key and your value, right? And if you want, you can even arrange the data by, suppose, let me say arrange descending year, right? So I suppose I want to arrange this data by descending year, right? So I've used this data and now enter. So now let us see how does your weather dot spread looks like, right? So it has been in the, so since all the data I think is of 2010 only, so in this case let us do one thing. So we will do the same activity, but let us say descending according to day or descending according to month. So let us do descending according to month. Now again we'll call weather dot spread, right? So now if you see, the 12th month's data has come first, followed by your other month's data. So in this case over here we have made use of a pipe operators. We have combined a set of operations together. So these are the different ways in which you can clean your data or have a better data in this thing, which is now better useful to make any kind of a data analysis technique. So these are the 4 major things which we learned today in our cleaning of a data, right? So now we are now at the doorstep of one of the greatest things about R, and that is data visualization. So we'll just do some of the basics of data visualization, followed by the descriptive statistics in your next lecture. And till that particular time, what we can do is we love something that we have started to love doing that, and that is happy coding. So till the time we meet for the next session, wish you all a very, very happy coding. Thank you very much.